why are you getting angry because I ask if you're American? I mean, I know we don't like the Americans, but you don't have to get angry. I mean, where are you from? You are from Palestine? Palestine. Oh, you don't like the Americans. I mean, look what they're doing to your country. But then you're not the only country they're doing it to. They're doing it to everybody else's country. For 6 years, they've been giving arms to both sides. Stop the war, we wouldn't give you any more arms. Stupid Americans. Sorry? No, take your time. Say it in English, please. Oh, you're from Scotland. You're not independent yet. When you get your independence like me, then we can talk like equals. No, I leave you to the English. Oh, yes. The English take your oil, and now they're free. They're selling it out. And all you're worried about is drinking. Think about a good woman? Mother? No, take your time. What are you trying to say? Oh, you like to drink?
No, I said drink is like a good wife or a good woman.
Drink is like a good wife.
Or a good mother.
Or a good mother. You take it in small doses. The English educated you too? Oh, yes. Are there any English people here? You don't have to be ashamed to identify yourself. I mean, you're English. Hi. You're English too? Well, you look like a Pakistani. I know, right? Don't worry. Don't worry. We make them in all colors now. Seriously, you're not English. I mean, you were born here. Yeah, but because you were born here, that doesn't make you English. Jesus Christ was born in a stable. You wouldn't call him a donkey. Pardon?
I'm human.
Oh, I am not questioning you being human. I mean, you've noticed I've talked about nationality and race. I've never talked about the human race. Because when I decide to talk about the human race, we'll have to leave the English out. Pardon? Why? They're anything but human. The word human, insofar as the English are concerned, at its best is a misnomer. And at its worst, it's a lie. How can the English be human and make all the mistakes all over the world, excepting in England?
Do you understand?
Let me put it this way. There is no country in the world where the English is spoken, where the Anglo-Saxon culture is accepted as the norm, where you do not have racial antagonism against different people, and better still, from the English point of view, in those countries that they have taken, they have legalized racist immigration laws.
Smell that?
For example, in America, they call it the McCarran Act. In Canada, they call it the Anti-Asiatic White Preferential Immigration Bill. In Australia, they call it the White Australian Policy. In South Africa, they call it apartheid. And you notice all the countries I've called, the English were there. And in New Zealand, they call it the Selected Migration Scheme. But in England, because they are the most sophisticated of the English-speaking people, they call it the Commonwealth Immigration Act. Every day, I go down on my knees and I pray to God, please God, don't allow the English to get to heaven before me, because if they do, another immigration law. Now, I am not blaming you, but you see, I am interested in history. And as a student of history, it is important for me to understand your society, that when I meet people like you and I question you, I would like to know how much you have learned. Because if you do not learn the truth, and the truth is opposed to facts, because there's a difference. Because if you do not know the truth, you will grow up pretending like your ancestors to be superior to everybody else in this world.
Yeah, you will not.
And you know the English? You've gone around the world pretending to be superior. And psychologists today will tell you that people who claim to be superior in actual fact are inferior. And in order to hide their inferiority, they pretend to be superior.
Smell that.
Have you ever heard the English language spoken like that before from an immigrant?
I smell that.
And you know the irony about it? Your ancestors came to educate me. And I didn't ask them to come. They went all the way to Africa. And they tell the Africans, if you want to be civilized, you must speak English. And you must become a Christian. And if you become a good Christian, when you die, you will go to heaven because heaven is a wonderful place. Ladies and gentlemen, do you honestly believe if heaven is such a good place, do you think white people will tell black people about it? No way. But you see, this is the myth. This is the way you've been able to rule us. This is the way you convince yourself that because we didn't question your presence in our countries, you convince yourself that we were stupid. And that is why when you meet us today, an Englishman asks you two things. He sees a black man in England, does not understand his own history, because if he did, he would know why we're all here. I mean, look around. The empire has come home. And when he sees us in England, he asks us two questions. Where are you from? And where are you going? His limited ability to comprehend his own historical background does not give him the intelligence to appreciate the fact that Britain had an empire that spanned across 5 continents. And all over the world, we were not white people. Some of us are Pakis, as we are called now. Some of us are niggers, but you know we were niggers. You know we were stupid. You know we had no toilets. Why did you stay in our countries for 400 years? You must have loved us. But it's all right for you to like us in Africa and in India. But when we come to England, we can't walk the streets. We can't live in our homes. You're petrol bombing it. We're attacked on the streets. When we go to the police for help, well, you know the rest. We call it carnival time.
I'm 16.
And you know, it's funny. And I don't think you hate us because we are black.
I love you, Roy.
Yeah, you're an English homosexual. See what I mean? That's what you produce. Well, I mean, when I say you, I mean your society. I'm not just... Unfortunately, we're not living in Shakespearean time. So I've got to say you. But you is singular and you is plural. If I was in days of Shakespeare, I will say thou. But thou has become irrelevant to the English language, which is the most corrupt language. You cannot express yourself in it. And because people don't understand you or understand the language, they call it the language of the diplomats. When you want to say yes, you say maybe. And when you want to say no, you say perhaps. And that's why they never get an agreement. Only now they're trying to use another language so people can understand what they really say. And that's Arabic. Can you imagine the United Nations speaking Arabic? What will Maggie Thatcher do when she goes there? She can't speak Arabic. What will Reagan do? He can't even speak English. But you see, if you look around the world, everybody, nearly everybody speaks English, excepting the English. You can go to Germany and ask the Chancellor for an interview, and he'll give you in English. You can go to France, Mitterrand will give you an interview in English. Go to Portugal, Sawh will give you an interview in English. Can Maggie Thatcher give anybody an interview in Russian or German? You get the point? Your superiority does not even allow you to learn other people's language. And we come and learn your language because your language is very easy to learn. When I came here, I didn't speak a word of English. I went into a pub, I had 2 beer, took the barmaid home. The next morning, my English was perfect. Now, what have you got to say about yourself? Are you proud to be English?
No, we made a lot of mistakes, like you said. But you saying earlier on that this country as itself in England hasn't made mistakes. We have. We're becoming slowly the cesspit for nuclear waste. Things like that.
Yes, I know. I mean, I know you made
You make mistakes.
My friend, you have made mistakes. Because you have made mistakes, never assume that I have. Because to treat equals equally is an injustice. You're assuming that I had the same power like you. My country have never had the power to rule anybody else. Therefore, the argument that we made mistakes is irrelevant in terms of politics. Have you ever heard of an Indian empire? Oh yes, we missed you. I forgot that, sorry. Where is it? An Indian empire is below China. Which school did they teach you geography? I suppose you like the Americans. When they invaded Grenada, they went around asking all Americans, do you know where Grenada is? Listen to them, yes, it's in Spain. Are you English? Where are you from? You are from America. You're an immigrant like me. Oh, yes, you are.
Of course it is.
You were only born there, my brother. And when black people are born in America, they're not Americans, they're Negroes. I know you're not black. It's obvious, isn't it? If you were black, at least you would have been a little bit more intelligent than being white. Not possibly, definitely. You were born there. That doesn't make you an American. The Red Indians are the Americans, not you. Oh, they're immigrants, but they were there before you. Oh, not anymore. And you're proud of that. You see the arrogance of the white man? Don't worry, my friend. In 400 years' time, when we take England over, we will tell the English, you are immigrants too. Father? I know 400 years you wouldn't be here. But you weren't there 400 years either. But you knew the Indians are immigrants.
Missionary swine.
See the white man? There's something mentally wrong with white people. My friend, if you white people were not stupid, would you allow me to stand in your own country and tell you what I'm telling you? You've got to be stupid. Of course I am stupid. All my teachers were white. A black man born in America is not a Negro, he's an American. A black man born in England is not English, he's British. A white man born in South Africa is an African, but a black man born in South Africa is not a South African. Using that logic, if an African was born in Germany, is he a German? Can you imagine Mr. Obuku going around saying, I'm German? Hitler will turn in his grave. If your mother was from Iceland and you were born in Cuba, can I call you an ice cube? But then, you are an American. I would never call you stupid. Because a nation gets the leadership it deserves. And if a man like Reagan is your president, then history will not allow me to say more.